offer was very generous, Mrs. Thatcher, but she doesn't want to impose on you and your family. And just so you know, I checked the place out, and it's really very nice. I'm sure they'll take good care of her.
Who's her? I'm here, Malink. Very much here.
It's not a prison. It's the best place for you, and you know that.
I know, Mrs. Dupcha. I know. To take you to the ballet when you were 8 years old.
Shuffleboard round robin begins tomorrow at noon. All contestants must register by 6 o'clock this evening. Hello, Mrs. Barnes. Now, Mr. Mason, I want you to take these pills. You can't hide them.
The wife was responding quite well to the therapy.
Dr. Jameson plus Hilaria.
Oh, here it is.
Jameson plus Hilaria, please.
Would you like a chocolate chip cookie, Mrs. Dupcha?
The brownies are delicious. I made them in the restaurant kitchen.
Mrs. Dupcha? All of your new friends from Sunnyvale are downstairs. Wouldn't you like to come meet them? Now that you're a member of our family, we'd like for you to join us for activities. Your room is cheery, don't you think? Some of the rooms are dark. Not this one. You have a southern exposure.
I'd like to play some music.
You know the rules, Mrs. Dupcha. Radios and phonographs in the rooms really disturb the other guests. We don't allow it. She knows that.
Mrs. Dupcha, would you like us to go downstairs with you? I'd just like to sit. Just like to sit quietly.
That produce company is ripping me off. I didn't order 50 pounds of yams.
Ice cube trays.
Huh?
Ice cube trays. When you get old, that's where they stick you. In an ice cube tray. Everything uniform. A little impersonal slot. Second cube from the left. Third tray from the right.
Lib, it's a home for her. It's a nice, clean, caring home for her. They'll look after her. They'll take good care of her.
Her body, maybe, but not her mind, her soul, her spirit. She is so much. She has so much. And we put her in an ice cube tray. Is that what we have to look forward to? Is that what's going to happen to us?
Never.
Promise me. Promise me.
Raise your right hand. That's right. Simon says raise your left hand. You're a mirror image. Simon says raise your right hand. Now raise both
Beautiful music. Lubushka. Can I thank you enough? It was Becca's idea. I'm glad you like it.
Nishinsky and I, we will share this gift always. Did you know that after they locked him up, yes, they locked him up too, never spoke a word. He entered a world of silence forever. But then he didn't have friends like I had.
Well, are things better for you now, Mrs. Dubchik?
Well, I wanted Simple Simon yesterday. And, well, tomorrow maybe I will win pickup sticks. Promise me something. Always. Dance. Always teach ballet.
I'll try. I miss you, Mrs. Dubcha.
I have something for you. My ballet slippers. Signed by the king.
Elvis?
No. Nishinsky. The one night that I saw him dance. I used to sleep with them under my pillow. I would only give it to someone that I love very much.
Dad, are old people sick?
Not necessarily.
Do they get dumb when they get older?
No. Of course not.
Then why do they play stupid games like Simple Simon and bingo all day?
Because that's what somebody thought would be good for them.
But why can't they do things they like?
Well, got me there.
Mrs. Dubcha dances.
She did.
And she's a teacher, right?
Yeah.
Then why don't they let her teach dancing?
Quickie, that's a brilliant idea.
Son, don't let anybody ever tell you you're not creative. You just hit a homer.
She was a prima ballerina. She performed for royalty before she came to America, and she has taught dance for 45 years.
I understand, Mrs. Thatcher, but my hands are tied. I mean, personally, I think it's a marvelous idea. But no, I'm afraid not.
Please, just consider it. She could be really useful here.
All of our residents are useful people.
Mrs. Dubcha is special. Mrs. Dubcha is like me. There's something wrong with her, but there are still a lot of things she could do.
Have you ever done anything that inspired you? That made you feel your life was worth living?
Of course. Why do you think I work here?
Then wouldn't you like to give that to the people of Sunnyvale?
Excuse me, my residents are waiting for me.
Oh, 70. Oh, 70.
Oh, Mrs. Dubcha, you have 070. It's a good start.
I-23. I-23.
Oh, yeah.
B3.
3. Will you all please get up from your chairs and come forward, please?
Why are we coming forward? Well,
Come on, Harry. You'll be in some corner.
I don't know.
Tonight, instead of continuing with bingo, we're going to try something new. We are very honored to have among us a woman with a distinguished career
As a teacher of dance.
Mrs. Dupcha. Will you please lead us?
Please. I'm sorry. I'm really not prepared.
Just start with the 5 positions. We must dance, Mrs. Dupcha. Always dance.
First position. Stand up straight. We don't want to look like people think old people look. Posture is grace, and grace is magic, and magic is dance.
She was old, but she was somehow eternally young. Sometimes she prodded you and pushed you, but you felt that if you teetered or fell, she would be right there to catch you. She caught the fire when she was young, from the music and from Nijinsky. And she passed that flame on to you. She inspired you and made you feel wonderful about yourself. And at the end of each class, you would look in the mirror and say to yourself, I am whole. I am strong. I am beautiful. I am made to dance.
That's exquisite, Becca.
Yeah. So is she. So is she.